back to the channel. Today we have a glorious lineup here of some old, mostly all old, and one relatively new thing. So with winter vastly approaching here in the glorious central PA mountains, as you can see by the leaves and, you know, generally gloomy weather, we have a lot of stuff that's sitting in the garage probably since last winter, maybe early spring, that hasn't run. So probably makes sense to get it running and make sure there's nothing wrong with them before, you know, a big snowstorm hits or we lose power, or, you know, an apocalypse comes and we have to drive that somewhere because it's the only thing that runs. Hold on, some guy in a really loud diesel truck decided he wants to ruin this. And we're good. So I guess we can get on the line and describe what these all are. So first off, this, like I said, this is our Placebo. I actually haven't ran this in probably half a year because I haven't had the use for it, I guess. It's an Echo Timberwolf CS 590 chainsaw. I bought a new like 4 years ago for a couple $100. I had visions of being or heating our house with wood mostly in Bedford whenever we lived down there and here, but I haven't really used it and lived up to that, so it kind of just sits. So it's good to get that running every now and again, but also it should be the one that actually fires up pretty decently because it is newer. So we'll start off with that guy because it'll make me feel good about myself when nothing else starts. This right here is an old Coleman PowerMate generator. Story behind this was my buddy Cody, who I know watches these videos, so thanks for watching this, Cody. Love you, buddy. His buddy had this in a garage where he was working. I don't know if it was there when he bought it or what, but he posted on Facebook that he was just going to get rid of it for scrap. And Cody, knowing that I'm the derelict guy that likes free stuff and trying to get it running, said, hey, my buddy would like that, and then gave it to me. He actually threw fuel in it and it ran like no problem. And so I did the same thing probably when I got it half a year ago, and did the same thing and ran, and it actually generates power and run stuff. So yeah, I don't think we'll have any issues with this guy either. And this is nice because in the wintertime, you know, you lose power invariably, and it would be nice to heat the place or other stuff like that, or run fridges or anything like that. So we'll see how that guy goes. This I think you made a short about this, Sam. This is Sam's childhood dirt bike. I'm assuming it's a late 80s, early 90s DS80 two-stroke. I think it's a Suzuki. Yeah, it's a Suzuki. I think it was like a year or two ago we pulled this out of your parents' basement. Well, I shouldn't say we, your dad and mom pulled this out of your basement. I didn't pull it out, so thanks to them on that. And then the fuel line basically rotted off as we were transporting it home. All I did was throw a fuel line on it, which it wasn't fuel line, it was like vacuum hose, so it's basically rotted off. And put fuel in it and fired it right up, and it ran and drove, and we rode it around the house here. I put air in the tires too, that's it, and it ran and drove perfectly fine. So hopefully that should be an easy win. We'll find out.
Yeah, it sat for like 10 or 15 years, and then you had it running in like 20 minutes.
Yeah, good thing is in two strokes there's always oil in, you know, the cylinders and all that stuff, so that keeps it well lubricated even if it hadn't been kicked over.
Yeah.
This is probably the most difficult one of the fleet here. This is I think it's a 1968 Snowbird something S225 snowblower. Story behind this, they used to have a plow truck, and like I said, I get rid of stuff and sell stuff and all the time. So I had a Tahoe that I got from my uncle that we used to plow snow. I didn't want any more. My buddy Cody, who got the generator from, sold it to him, and I was like, well, I need an implement now to clear snow off my driveway. And this came up on Marketplace for 30 bucks, I think. I
so.
Bought it from some younger gentleman. By younger, I mean he was probably like a few years younger than me. So he said that he had started on ether and never got it working other than that. I brought it home, pulled the carb off it, and like there was like an inch layer of black encrusted gunk in the bottom of the fuel tank. So I knocked that all out of there. It was all rusty too. I did my best to clean it up. Tried to throw a steel stick all over the seams and stuff because it was leaking fuel from there. Put a cheap Amazon carb on it because the carb was ruined from being sitting and all that stuff. And it fires up and runs. Doesn't run great. It still shoots snow, but it's almost like there's a throttle issue with it. And of course, I haven't messed with it since last winter. So that one might be a little bit more difficult. I usually have to use ether or like brake clean to get it to pop off, and then it goes, but I don't have any because I just haven't bought any recently because I haven't been doing anything super crazy. So that should make it interesting. So we'll see how that works. But yeah, we'll start with the chainsaw and then move on down the line, and hopefully all these fire up and run half decently, and I don't have to hate my life for the next month because I'm trying to get stuff started that we need for winter. So I think there's bar oil in here. I think there's gas in it. It looks like there's gas in it. I don't really care about the bar oil, and it usually gets like seized onto there, so we're just gonna say it's good. Take the guard off the front of it first. That's a really good idea. So ignition, choke, or sorry, ignition, and then compression, release, or whatever the heck it is that drops compression, and choke it. And we'll see. Usually if you give it like, I don't know, 5 bumps, it'll try to start, and then you put the choke off, and then do the compression, release, and then dial it up again. It should run. So we'll find out. All right, so that's a sign that it's probably gonna run. Hopefully. All right, so that was easy. That's a good one. Let that just idle around a little bit. Get fuel in it, you know. That makes me feel good about myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured that would start up pretty easily because it's been probably 6 months, and I think I ethanol treated the fuel in it too because I don't buy non-ethanol fuel because I'm an idiot. So this guy, like I said, it's an old, I don't even know what year it's from. It's old, probably. I would say probably like, if that thing's 60s, it's using the same carburetor and like fuel tank setup as this. I would imagine it's 60s to 80s maybe. I'm sure they probably used the same carburetor system for a long time because they used to do that, and now we just change things every other year because, you know, progress. So it's got a choke and it's got an on. I'll be honest, I don't even remember how to start it. I'm just gonna give it full choke and then turn it on and see what that does, and hopefully it should fire up. I know what you're gonna say, Seth. You fired that up beforehand. I'll be honest, I haven't touched this thing.
No,
and
you're
that
right.
was literally the first pull that it just
Yeah.
fired right up.
I can say that for sure. You have not touched any of this stuff in a long
Yeah.
time.
So let's do that one more time, just to make sure we're not bluffing here.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I jinxed myself. There we go. See, now it's doing what it wants to. Well, sweet. That's another easy one. Hopefully this thing's just the same.
Yeah.
I actually got to put some fuel into that, but so that's why this is part of like a broader conversation. Obviously, you guys see that I own a lot of junk. We own a lot of junk, and part of that's just because I don't know. I have a bad habit, I guess is what you would call it. I like making things run again, and generally having stuff just sit around our yard or in our garage because I guess you could call it a slight hoarding addiction, maybe. I don't know. But anyways, I think a lot of people do that and then end up not starting stuff or turning engines over or anything like that every now and again. And then, of course, when things sit for a super long time, then stuff doesn't run. Then you start having more issues. So that's why it's nice to do stuff like this and, you know, get your stuff out, take some time, carve it out, even if you are busy, to at least turn stuff over, if not get it started if you have the ability to, because when you do that, stuff's a lot easier to start next time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure I drained fuel out of this thing too because I probably robbed it because I didn't want to go get fuel. So I think I robbed it for the chainsaw and other stuff, so we'll see how easy this thing is to fire up.
And we had a lot of rain for like the first 2 months of summer, so we really didn't break this out at all.
No, it seems like a lot of this bike was, and I think you guys bought it from somebody, so like,
yeah, some random person.
like the stop switch doesn't work, there's not a headlight or a tail light, stuff's like baling wired together and stuff. It leaks pretty bad from the where the gear oil goes in. I don't know, I'm guessing that's the case with the transmission is. It's been a while since I've worked on bikes, so. It has a choke on the carb, like it's not actually a cable, it's just like a linkage. So I think if I push that down, you're gonna watch me struggle and probably hurt myself. Oh, wait, nope, gotta turn the fuel on, it's got a petcock. And no leaks yet, so I think it's in neutral, it is. Stop switch doesn't work? I turned the fuel off to it, so we'll see if it dies on its own, but I think I just used the choke to kill it before.
You did.
But it doesn't do that either.
There you go.
Well, so that's 3 for 3.
Yeah.
Now, this is gonna be the bear of them all.
The one that will really help us this winter, probably. The bike will not help us, but it's still fun.
No, I mean that's barring if we actually get a winter of snow. Like last winter we got barely any, and I broke this out like once or twice. So it's got an oil bath air cleaner that is like, or an oil foam air cleaner, sorry, that is like, it should definitely be replaced, but I really don't care. I think there's fuel in it. Yeah, there's some. As you can see, the cheap Amazon carburetor that I bought for this thing, you know, it probably comes from China. It's probably garbage. It probably costs 3 cents to make. The choke is just this little slide right here that you open up and it just cuts air off to it. You know, obviously feeds it more fuel, chokes it out. It just opens up randomly when you're running it from the vibration of it. So of course me and my infinite wisdom said, you know what, I'll just zip tie that closed. And what I really should do is buy an actual carburetor that, you know, is a Briggs & Stratton like model, but just haven't, and it works. I'll wait until the middle of winter when we got 8 feet of snow and it doesn't run, and then try it then. I'm gonna put some 2-stroke down here just because I really don't care, and I have more 2-stroke than regular gas, and the vultures are flying overhead, so
Oh no.
probably are gonna, you know, die. Like I said, I usually have ether or brake clean to prime this thing, but we're just gonna use some good old 2-stroke gas, and hopefully it doesn't blow up in my face.
Oh gosh, don't say that.
I did have this blow up one time because, well, not blow up. When I first got it, I was trying to get it started, and I put gas down there. And I was trying to heat something up for some reason. I don't remember why, but dumbass me decided to heat up like right around the carb. And the gas in there went and blew up and like singed my eyebrows a little bit. It's awesome.
Oh my god.
We're gonna leave this right here. I don't remember the starting procedure for this thing. I think you just open up the throttle. I think this means that it's not gonna move. They call this thing a dog catcher, and I can let your imagination understand why.
Oh gosh.
Because this auger is just sticking completely out of the front there, right? So like incredibly dangerous and terrifying if you're not paying attention. And there's no like safety on it, so like you just put it into gear and it just goes.
Yeah.
Like if you fall and like smack your head off the ground and die,
Oh,
like it'll
God.
just keep going. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, Seth will never let me touch this thing, rightfully so.
Yeah, I think that auger isn't moving, right?
No.
Okay, so it's in neutral. So yeah, we'll just try it, I guess.
Yeah. Oh no, I got all excited.
This is so upsetting because it's like I actually thought something would struggle to
I know.
start. I mean, clearly we got that started, but that's obviously not where I thought it
Yeah.
would go. But I remember it being kind of a bear too. Like it would start like that. We'll prime it with a little more gas.
Okay.
See what happens. So there you go. Technically everything ran, but
Yeah.
I don't consider that like problem.
No. Also, so sorry if you can hear Charm barking. That's just our life. Love her to death, but she just barks her head off.
Oop, sometimes that doesn't catch. Maybe it's too much throttle. Give it like that. Do it. Okay.
Mm.
See, the weird thing is like the throttle doesn't really stay like super kosher with it. Like it's either closed or like open all the way. Weird.
Yeah.
We're gonna flood the ever living guts out of it. This thing also does not like to stop either, which is great.
There's a theme here. With 2 of the 4.
lever, which I'll show you. Well, on the top it has forward and reverse, and then you pull, I don't know if it's just like a mechanical linkage that engages the drive on it, but I'll show you that. It's forward. It has a stop on the throttle, but I don't know if I just don't have things adjusted right or what, but it doesn't work. So yeah, that's how you stop it.
Yes.
Well, and as you can see, I thought this would be a lot more painful of a video. It really wasn't. And like I said, I fear you may think that I came out here and started all these and then did this.
Mm-mm.
I 100% did not.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, I figured the chainsaw would start. I figured everything would start, but I figured this would be a big pain in the rear. I didn't know how this would work, because like I said, I got a vacuum line for fuel line. The generator seems to be pretty reliable, but like this, I thought it would take us like an hour, because I've been out here actually, like I said, I think something might be wrong. Obviously that carburetor is probably absolute trash. And I've been out here snowblowing with like the 1 or 2 times I did, and it just dies randomly, and then I'm stuck out here like in the driveway in the cold and snow trying to get it started and it doesn't start. So I figured that would be a lot more painful, but it wasn't. So yeah, go out and get your shit started before winter comes, because you won't know you're gonna be able to use it whenever the time comes, and luckily all of ours started just fine.
Yes, and I think this kind of wraps into the old junk is better than new junk.
Yeah, that's a good point, because heck, the Harbor Freight generator you buy or other stuff like that, if you leave it sitting for a year, it probably won't start again. I mean, that's 1968. This is probably 80s, 90s. This is, I don't know, probably around 60s, 70s, or 80s, if I would venture a guess. And then that's, I mean, that's newer, but that thing I figured would start no problem.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's, I guess, just close this out and say thanks for watching, and yeah, hopefully you getting your stuff started for the new year or the new season coming goes just as well as ours did, because that was actually relatively painless. And I feel bad because now we have a video that nobody probably wants to watch because everything started right away.
That's okay. You have to watch it to find out if everything starts, and hopefully it inspires somebody to buy something old that they keep looking at on Marketplace that they're unsure about.
Yeah, I mean, people on Marketplace can be relatively unreliable, but I mean, like, a lot of this stuff, I knew that wasn't running. We knew this might not run. My buddy obviously got that started. I knew the chainsaw would run, but
yeah,
this stuff's so easy. It's easy. And that's the best part about it. So now I'm going to get this thing started and cruise off into the sunset like some 80s movie about a high school kid that a girl falls for.
Yes, you have.
Alright, just in case anybody was curious too, we figured we'd throw this in because we were out here. As you can see, the 39 Dodge is in here. I've been slowly picking away at it. So I basically stripped all of the running boards, steps, footwells, whatever the heck you call them. I don't know the proper term. I stripped all the stuff off. I'm actually going to paint them. I haven't decided what to use yet. I'm pretty sure they were covered with like a rubber pad like most old coupes or sedans were. But I can't find them anywhere, and honestly, that's, in my opinion, looks like the worst part of this car. So I'm probably going to sand them down, paint them. I haven't really decided if I'm going to use black paint or if I'm going to use like truck bed liner or rubber coating. So if anybody has any tips or anything for that, let me know, because I don't know what to do, and I'll probably do something and do it wrong and have to do it 3 times. Other than that, I've just been doing some small cleaning on the thing. I actually took the generator off because I knew it wasn't charging whenever we had bought it. And I took the starter off because I was an idiot and thought that the starter wasn't working, but it was working just fine. But it was probably good to get in there and clean it off. So I went in here in this generator, and everything was just corroded, like the armature, all that stuff was just covered in a layer of rust. So I went in there, cleaned it all off, made all the contact points shiny, and I did a motoring test on the thing to see if it would actually work, which I don't know. I mean, I have a degree in engineering, but like I forgot that these things could be turned into electric motors, and that's how you test to make sure they're working fine. So I have a battery here hooked up like it would be in the car, which I really don't think it matters, but it's positive ground. I have ground going here, the battery to the case of the generator, my negative, positive, my negative, whatever it's called, I don't know, is going to here. This is the field wire, or sorry, this is the armature. And then I have a ground wire to ground to the case of the field just as a jumper. So apparently if you put this on here and it motors, it's fine. And then if you put this and ground to the case, that means that the field is good. I don't know. I just saw it on the internet and someone said it means it's good. So we'll find out. So if I put this on here, it turns into an electric motor, which is great. Sounds relatively decent. A little bit of grinding, but I think the bearing's still good in it. When you spin it by hand, it's fine. And then when you ground out the field, it slows down. And then you take that off, and the motor's up just fine. So the plan is to throw this guy back in. Other than that, like I said, I really don't know what else is next. Probably stripping the interior and fixing any holes in the floor and then painting that, and then getting the interior back in, and then working my way up from stuff there. But yeah, you know, let us know in the comments if you're interested in seeing more of this. I was going to try to film a good bit of it, but also I have a hard deadline where I kind of want to get this done by, I think, the new year.
Yeah.
Because I kind of want to get it driving and take it out. So, yeah, let us know if it's something you'd like to see more of, because I can just film stuff in here haphazardly when I'm in here working on it. And, you know, if it garners enough interest, then it's worthwhile to me to do it, and it's worthwhile to us and our channel to do it. So, yeah, let us know. But, yeah, so that's just a quick update on it. Just nitpicking away while I can.